to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10. Touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Score! Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Denver Huskies win their first state championship.
Champlin Park Logators tonight playing host to representative coming your way from the Riverview League. And we have a great matchup for you tonight. Joe ruling along with Pete Hayes. And I think these two teams were meant to be a lot of shuffling around, Pete, with lineups at the last minute. So a lot of guys playing outfield who haven't in a while, a lot of guys hitting who haven't in a while for the Gators.
Well, it's a tough week. You know, it's 4th of July week, and a lot of these guys are family men and have a job, and this is the week at the lake. So you try to put together whatever kind of team you can, and I'm sure it'll be a good team for both sides.
Max Strength, the name of the team, coming to you from down south, and we get a first pitch. We'll get you set up, too, with the starting lineups for the Logators as on the mound from Southwest High School. And getting the nod today for his start is Walker, Lou Walker. The southpaw, 1 ball, 1 strike. This one inside, misses, 2-1. The hitter stepping in here for Max Strength is TJ Logan.
Yeah, Walker's a big kid out there, big left-hander.
Gets a called strike there. Watching him in the bullpen. Has a nice 12-6 breaking pitch. And certainly some movement on that fastball. Fouled straight back that time. They'll load it up again for Walker. Walker, of course, you get a look at the Logators. Logators come in with a record of 12-8 overall, 6-0 in Metro Mini. And tonight is kind of one of those between games, between everything. Breaking pitch here, that time left up top. Fouled straight back by Logan. And meanwhile, as I mentioned, Max Strength comes in with a record of 1-8. And for Champlin Park, they're playing their 5th game in 4 days. This one's fouled straight back. You'll see some of the players in the lineup who typically aren't there. For instance, in center field, we get to showcase the skills out there of Mr. Gooley.
Well, Riola's here, and that's one of the big things to have for Champlin Park because he's quite the player playing shortstop for him. Really good hitter, good pitcher, great ball player. So having him here is going to definitely help tonight for the Logators.
Certainly right along that way, and always a good staple to have out there. Swung on strike, misses on the fastball. Logan, first strikeout victim of the night. That'll bring up number 2 hitter Drew Charney for Max Strength Grizzlies.
I'm sad that Brun's not playing tonight, though.
Well, you know what? Bruns was in the lineup. Some last-minute changes. And Bruns is coming off a 7 RBI game just a couple of games ago. He's probably got to rest up after that performance.
Well, I would not doubt that. You know, he's the old man in the league, and I remember having him in my Phi Ed class. So that tells you how old I am. And he was quite the athlete, that's for sure.
So dribbler to second, over to make the play, and Dunn and Gunn and Conley at first. Picks it up there was Wallen, who made the play at second, down 4-3, and now we'll see the number 3 hitter stepping in here. And Zach Helfman.
I like the way Walker's coming out throwing strikes here. Going to rely on his defense. Kind of a sidewinder for a left-hander. He must go about 6'3", 6'4". Is he a big kid?
He is. Just graduated from Southwest High School here in the Minneapolis area. He'll be going to Concordia St. Paul and take his skill set there.
Well, I'll tell you what, as many games as they've played this week, you have to have some pitching. So he looks like a pretty good pitcher going after 5 games, I think you said, Joe, this week. So
That it is.
They must have some pitching depth here on the Logators, as they usually do.
Look inside here as the number 3 hitter steps in. Finds a hole off beyond the diving, stretching glove that time of Riola. Riola last year for the Logators had just played 10 games total. Typically leading the league in hitting in every category. But last year didn't go as planned, but they're glad to have him back. A St. Cloud State University player here. So Joe Merklowitz steps in. First swing and gets at it. First hit of the game as Zach finds his way on. Zach Helfman, he's out of St. Louis Park. Plays baseball at St. John's University. This one's driven to the gap in left center. Gooley comes up, gets it in quickly, but back-to-back hits here. As you saw, Merklowitz coming up. He's out of Woodbury.
Here's another look at this one, Joe. Ball's hit to the left center field gap. Nice job by the center fielder for the Logators to get the ball in and hit that cutoff. Keep that runner at third base. So the Grizz have something going here with 2 outs.
Gooley hustles it down and takes the right path to the ball there. Parker Johnson steps in now. He's out of Golden Valley. Plays for Valparaiso University. Excellent D1 program. Lefty versus lefty. I don't know about you, but I would swing left in those days of baseball, and I'll tell you, it was always tough to get used to that release point. Chance here now for the Grizzlies. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. We're at the top of the first here. The Gators trying to get out of it. There's a ball in the dirt. Couldn't quite locate.
Yeah, being a right-handed hitter myself, I always liked going against those lefties because that curveball would come in on you instead of going away, the one I always struggled on handling.
Hard hit ball, flashing a little leather at first. Making the play is Conlon. Nice job there to end the inning, and an opportunity to score is diffused there by the defense for the Logators. The first top half of the inning, no score. As we get a look here, as I mentioned, players kind of all over the spectrum here tonight because of the number of games that they have played. These Logators over the course of the last few nights and weeks, and so it's kind of a time where everybody's going to be moving active, and some will be hitting for the first time in a while. Some will be playing in the field, which they haven't done in quite some time, but nonetheless, they're ready to get at it. Again, a team led by manager Matt Merrick. Always a lot of grit and willing to get at it. Again, the game will be their 5th in 4 days heading into the 4th of July break. And they gutted out a 4-2 win last night over Anoka, Pete.
Yeah, that's always a big game for both of those teams. You know, the communities being as close as they are, it gives both of them an opportunity for bragging rights in that area of the Midwest and in the state of Minnesota. So they go after each other, and they always have very good teams.
So we get set here and on the mound. You get a look here for the Grizzlies. That'll be number 44, Ryan Halke.
Well, Ryan Halke is an Anoka kid.
He is.
I used to coach Ryan Halke, and he looks about 20, 30 pounds bigger, and I mean, that's muscle than what he was in high school, and is a good pitcher for us at Anoka. And Ryan's had a good college career also, so looking forward to watch him pitch for the Grizz tonight.
He's pitching at Bismarck State currently as well, as Riola will step in. Sam Riola to do everything. Excellent shortstop. Puts the ball in play. Looks at the first pitch, delivers it right up the middle. A base hit. Would you expect anything less?
Well, he's a great hitter and always has been a hitter. In high school, I remember him over at Blaine, and he was quite the hitter there and had a great college career also. Did have some injuries, but he's back and doing what he does.
They have several former Blaine players playing as Arrow Wallen steps in. Wallen comes in hitting .346 this season, 7 RBIs. First pitch misses there from Hulky.
Yeah, you always want to get ahead of the hitters, especially in this league. You get behind, and people will hurt you.
In and tight, the throw down from the catcher was starting to sway its way back towards the base runner, easily in for a stolen base. His 7th stolen base of the season. He takes the team lead, does Sam Riola.
Yeah, that's another thing that he does well. He has lots of speed.
There you see him getting in, just rolling. You know, in MLB, they've kind of made a correction on that catcher's throw. I'll talk about that a little bit more in advance. Riola, a healthy lead, and this one is going to be driven down the right field line and down extra bases. Rounding first, heading to second with a double, so he will replace Riola and Wallen with a double and another RBI. His second double of the season, 8th RBI, and already the Logators have jumped up top, 1-0.
Yeah, good start here for the Logators, and those two guys at the top of the order that set the table. You know, they set the table for each other. Riola getting on with a base hit, stealing a base, double down the line, early lead for the Logators.
Jeff Ewer, another experienced player here for the Logators. The Logators last year, of course, making it to another state tournament at a tough opening game loss to the Angels. Look back, the throw. What do you expect from Hulky here to throw?
Well, Hulky has a good fastball. You know, he mixes in that curveball, but I think the thing that puts him ahead of most is his changeup, and you really have to have a changeup to these good hitters in the league. You know, if you're just throwing a fastball and a curveball, they're going to sit on it.
See if this gets to the gap. It's hanging up in the humidity. Flagged down by the center fielder, making the throw and advancing all the way. And in scoring position now, Wallen after a hard hit ball. It's not a wind, but it is blowing in from pretty much center field, and it's a heavy, humid night tonight.
Yeah, that's going to hold some balls up here, I think. And, you know, the thing that I noticed right there is the ball is thrown into the shortstop. And instead of making that throw when you're not going to get the out, what you see a lot of these younger guys and high school players do, and this is a D1 college shortstop, and he held the ball instead of throwing it where there was a very small chance of getting him out. You know, and that's the chance you have of throwing it into the third base dugout. So really smart heads-up play.
Reed Conley steps in here. Ground ball to short. They're going to let the run score. Conley with the ground out picks up the RBI. And the Logators are now up 2-0.
You know, and that's a good thing. The Grizz kept their, you know, they don't want to have a big inning by bringing the infield in. Keep them back here. It's way too early. You got a 9-inning game and a lot of time to score some runs. So they give up that run right here. But great job by Conley getting the bat on the ball, hitting it up past the pitcher and getting that run in.
Max Robinson, the catcher, steps in. He's in his 4th game of the season, hitting about 100 thus far this season, and looks at that first offering by Hulky. Looks like an off-speed pitch over the top. 2-0 lead here for the Logators. You got to love the press box here.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Digs, they had that last year.
Yeah, looking out at 610 here, and it's just a beautiful ballpark and great little press box here. So
you know, you got to pretend that you're in California, because doesn't everything start with like the 5 or the 610? Or
yes,
the 252?
Yeah, I agree. Except I don't know if they go, in California like we do here. Yeah.
Up high on that pitch, just missed. One umpire for tonight's game. Coming all the way down from Hinckley, had a chance to speak with him prior to the game.
Well, they must pay pretty good if you're coming down from Hinckley.
Brandon Schmidt, the behind-the-plate umpire, calls that one a strike. Evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Logators trying to extend this inning, already a crooked number up at 2. Called a strike, caught looking. Backwards K. Robinson is retired, as are the Logators after 1 complete. That's a 2-0 lead for the Logators.
This program is brought to you by QCTV, serving the communities of Andover, Anoka, Champlin, and Ramsey, bringing you year-round live sports coverage, community shows, and government programming. Tune in each week for new local stories, sports, and information in your city to stay up to date with your community. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Quad Cities TV and on X and YouTube at QCTV to stay up to date with your city and to never miss our live shows.
The clouds looked rather ominous earlier, but the forecast says maybe a quick shower, if even that. It's going to move through quickly, but it sounds like it could affect the 4th of July fireworks and or not affect tonight's game as we get set for the 2nd inning here at Town Ball and the Metro Minny, an out-of-conference matchup today as the Logators getting it after. A team from the south here in max strength. Swung on, missed here as popped up ahead. Riola easily handles that. And retired is Danny Martinez.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out. Gotta love that as a coach. Keep that pitch count down. Don't have to use quite as many pitchers in the game. So a nice start here by Walker.
Gets that first one, they always love it. Plus, when you're around the field with those pitches.
Yeah, Riola taking control right there. As you saw the replay.
Stepping in here, number 5, Kelvin Harris. Harris attending junior college. Century waves at this southpaw offering. Off speed, he get underneath. You see many times with those breaking pitches off speed, the players drop those hands and pop it up as the previous hitter did, and here's one on top of it. Quick 2-hopper. Handling that is Conley. Almost effortless. That bounce came right up chest high.
Yeah, you can see that Conley's played that position before. Made a nice play in the first inning, and this one very nonchalant. Made the play, moved over to first base, made the out. A nice play by Connolly.
Kelvin Harris there retired. So 2 down early here. First pitch called a strike, a breaking pitch. You know, I got to think as you know, as a southpaw going against a left-handed hitter, you want to maybe open up with that breaking pitch just to kind of keep it in the back of their mind as Ethan Schmitz steps in. He's out of St. Louis Park. Plays ball at the University Minnesota Morris.
Yeah, they're a pretty young team, Max Strength is. I'm looking at their roster, and I don't think they have a player over 26 years old and have a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olders on the team. So that usually bodes well, although having a little bit of veteran leadership like the Logators do, they have a good mix of veterans and young kids who are still playing college baseball.
Yeah, the lineup tonight for them is really an anomaly. Typically, you know, their starting pitching has been great. You know, Jerry Gooley, he comes in with an ERA this year of .95. Then you also can go with Charlie Hutchinson, an ERA of 3.55. Dylan Wilson has been lights out as well. He was last year. This one's popped up by Schmidt. And Riola is there. He's everywhere. And a fly out. He gloves that and retired in the top half of the second is max strength.
Well, that was a real efficient inning by Lou Walker. He probably threw 7 or 8 pitches, so his pitch count is good. You usually want your pitcher about 15 pitch. That's being effective and keeps you in the ball game and will get you at least 7 innings. It's the same thing at the big league. Once they get up around 100 pitches, they're out of there, and depending on which team you're playing for. So he's off to a really good start here, and he must be a good hitter too, because he's coming up to bat here in the second inning and batting in the number 6 hole. So
he is. Walker comes in, by the way, with an ERA of 2.50. 5 strikeouts this season. You can add another one to his portfolio. So, again, he'll be attending Concordia St. Paul next season, fresh out of high school. He said, didn't you guys call our game versus Champlin Park last year? High school game. It was their last game. It was. I can't remember if it was Jim Childs with me or if it was Jim Erickson. And that was the last game they would play before they'd begin section play. And meanwhile, they had to place, an adequate pitcher in Finau. And Finau kind of shut the door on them before that. But excellent pitcher. He's heading to Texas A&M.
Well, Concordia is a D2 baseball school, and you just don't get into D2 baseball schools unless you're a good player. And he's going right there out of high school, so it says something about how he plays.
Hey, it's an old Texas Arlington Stadium ground ball. A hard bounce off the ground in front, and one pitch, and Walker goes back to the dugout, and he'll try to get some rest. A lot of 3 unassisted in my book here already here tonight for both teams. Horning now steps in. Tyler Horning comes in hitting .348.
Well, that's a nice average. You take that every year, that's for sure. Hulke getting ahead. That outside fastball.
I don't think we have Horning up here right now. I think this is going to be Gooley.
Well, we'll go with that.
Gooley chops it back to the pitcher. Hulke bare hands it, fires a strike, and retired.
Yeah, nice play there by Hulke. Bare handing it. Probably had time to get it in his glove and throw it over there, but everything worked out good for 4-4. And that's 2 quick outs here for the Grizz.
1-3, and
here's another look at that, Joe, where it comes back and
bare hands it.
And bare hands it.
Pumps it up and
kicking
up
that
here.
Wasn't a look. There's a
swing, and just like that, that's a Wisconsin inning. You get in, you get out. 6 up, 6 down, clean inning for both squads. And after 2 complete, 2-0 lead for the Logators.
Hi, my name is Denise Devine, and I'm a local author. I live in East Bethel, Minnesota. The book I read, The Bootlegger's Wife, takes place in St. Paul in the 1920s, and it takes place in a house that actually exists on Laurel Avenue. The reason that I wrote this book was because I grew up listening to my grandma talk about the 20s and all the different things that happened to her through that time. Every time I'd go over to the house in St. Paul, I would look around at all the stained glass windows and all the different things and think, I got to write a book about this house. And so that's how this idea was born. I now have 3 books, and I'm working on book 4. My book is online on Amazon. I do a lot of personal appearances around the state. It's also an audiobook, which is in libraries and online.
Top half of the third. Welcome back, QCTV. Joe Lewin along with Pete Hayes. Metro Mini Baseball, kind of, tonight, because teams that represent 2 different conferences here this afternoon, or this evening rather, as we square away here out of the Riverview League. Getting a look at the Grizzlies. And Grizzlies come into the record of 1-8. Last year, they almost made it to the playoffs in the state tournament, but they lost in a close one to 365. 365 is the team, oh, by the way, that ended up playing the Andover Aces, as the Aces made their first trip to the state tournament last year. Nothing like town ball in the state of Minnesota. It's a lot like Legion. So many teams, so competitive. First pitch to the number 9 hitter. And this is fouled straight back, 3 up, 3 down for Walker in that second inning.
Well, you know, you showed me that list of town ball teams running down this Grizz team, and it's unbelievable the amount of town ball teams we have in this state of Minnesota. You know, I know it's one of the higher ones in the United States. You know, watch the town ball thing on, what is it, Channel 9?
Correct, yep.
And it's amazing, and the ballparks are amazing. One thing I've noticed about this ballpark that you don't see a lot is the dirt runway from the pitching mound to the catcher. You know, you very rarely see that. And one of the things you're starting to see a lot more now is grass along the baselines, and they do not have that here.
There's a ball tagged by Sullivan to the gap. Do not think Gooley will get there. He gets it on the second hop. It'll be a stand-up double for Graham Sullivan. Plays some high school ball yet at St. Louis Park, and the number 9 hitter starts off this top half of the third with a double. And then they flip the lineup off to the number 1 hitter in TJ Logan.
That's always a good thing if your number 9 can lead off and get on base, and even better when he's standing on second base. And he got a good piece of that one, Joe, and drove it to the gap in left center.
Good location, fastball. Dots the corner of the plate for an 0-1 count here, top half of the third. Comes back, a ball just eludes the glove, trying to climb the ladder and pull it down that time. Unable to do so was Horning.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting right there by the left-hander going the other way. I always love it when that left-handed hitter goes the other way. For some reason, I like that more than when the right-handed hitter goes to right field. It just looks better. And maybe it's because I watch Joe Mauer over and over and over again doing that, and he's one of the best players of all time. But I love that left-hander taking that outside pitch the other way.
Or the Wade Boggs, right?
The Wade Boggs, same thing. Absolutely.
Starts off the number 2 hitter, the third hitter of the inning, with runners now at first and third and no one out. And Drew Charney steps in. Throw down will not get the speedster Logan Robinson. Good throw on target, but he got a good jump at first on the southpaw Walker that time. So Lou Walker going to have to battle out of this. Second and third, no one out. Number 2 hitter, the 2-hopper to Riola. He guns it down. He's got a runner caught off. Now he'll take his choice between getting the runner caught off on a double. There were going to be 2 guys running, checking it down, and finally they do get the leadoff hitter of this inning, the number 9 hitter, Graham Sullivan, with a force out. Good eyes that time by Riola. That was a hard hit 2-hopper to him. He knocked it down, didn't catch it clean, was going to make a play to first, and then he looked the runner back. You can see it here. He starts to look back, and Riola didn't pull that trigger early. He waited because you want to get that lead runner, or you're happy to have that base runner, both of them, meet up on the same base. But
yeah, absolutely. Not a good job base running right there. You know, on contact, either you're going or you're staying if it's hit to the infield. And he kind of got caught in la-la land there and cost them. And it might be real costly where the inning started out with second and third and nobody out. Well, there's a base hit. That gets you one.
2 for 2 on, there's a blast hit and an RBI. Collected by Zach Helfman.
Well, they come out hitting the youngster here and in the top of the third inning and right back in the ball game at 2-1. A very clean second inning for Walker, and now they're starting to hit him a little bit here. Runners at first and second, only one out.
Number 4 hitter, Joe Merklowitz. Merklowitz last time up, also a single. This time Walker starts him off with a breaking pitch. Fouled straight back ahead in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the number 4 hitter, Otto Woodbury. Playing some college ball at Northern State University. Went to Eastridge High School, and they've had a pretty good season.
Yeah, back-to-back state championships for Eastridge, I would say. And, they had 2 D1 pitchers that were lights out, and makes it a little bit easier when you have a couple of those guys.
But I'll tell you, Gehring threw well from Moundsville. In fact, Eastridge didn't have the lead until it was a 0-2 pitch. He was down, and the bases were juiced. And he threw a great breaking pitch to a left-handed hitter who, it was literally a slow roller to the grass in the outfield as the infield was in, and that's how they scored. We got a run down here. Runners at first and third trying to see if they can advance. They'll let the runner back to first. So advancing is Helfman that time all the way now. Charney advances his way to third. And now the same scenario here. Runners at first and third and 1 out. Lively fastball that time by Walker. Misses off the plate.
He had a great jump to third base. He needed to look him back, and they didn't work in the middle right there to keep him close, and he took off, and he was there standing up.
This one waved on, gets enough of it to foul it over the top of the Logators dugout.
Walker kind of got caught watching a little bit there. He didn't get in that rundown between first and second base.
Swung on and missed, strikeout Key, but the runner's going to advance from third on the throwdown, attempting to try to get a strikeout throwout combination. So we're tied at 2-2. See chatting across and getting his way through is Drew Charney, scoring that second run. Took a while to produce those 2, but they got 2 in now and still a runner at second. And now the number 5 hitter is Parker Johnson. Grounded out to first his first time up. That was the second strikeout of the game for Walker. Foul tip.
Yeah, some good hitting right here by the Grizz. They're attacking him early in the account, not letting Walker get ahead. And it's worked out to their advantage with some solid base hits and a double to lead off the inning, and we're all tied up at 2. So the Grizz showing some life here in the third inning against Walker.
Knotted up at deuces. Breaking pitch, looked like he took a little something off more that time, but the downside is he left that breaking pitch up high, right around the numbers.
Yeah, he needs a good curveball and changeup. His fastball is probably in the 80s, low 80s, I'm guessing. That's just a total guess on my part, but he doesn't have that overpowering fastball. And if you don't have that overpowering fastball, you better have a good curveball and a good changeup.
Logators come into the season thus far with the team ERA of 4.10. Opens the door, grabs a beverage, and shuts the door on the punch-out. Time by behind the plate umpire Schmitz, who makes the call. Third strikeout of the game here for Lou Walker.
That was a big looping curveball there, Joe.
A little frozen pizza, maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A little bit much.
He didn't like it too much, that's for sure. So
hey, Halke coming out here for this third inning. And while we're talking about Halke, I was going to ask you, because I was looking through some statistical information, the Blue Jays and a former Anoka pitcher. Any updates on his status? Is he AA or AAA?
He is in AA. And I've been seeing different reports or hearing different reports. And One of them was saying that he has a chance to be called up, and then I look at the AA stats, and he hasn't had the greatest year. You know, he strikes out a lot of guys, but he walks a few too. But he throws in the mid-90s right now, and what a great kid, Trent Palmer, who we're talking about, and he was really fun to coach because he always wanted to listen and learn, and he was the last one in the ballpark after cleaning up the peanuts in the stand, and so happy for the kid. And had Tommy John surgery last year, so this is his bounce back year. So it cost him a year there, but he's on the cusp right now, Joe. You know, answering that question, and be really fun to see if he can make that next step and make a lot of money and build us a clubhouse.
Hey, that works. Leading off here, we're heading now to number 55, second man up here for the Logators here, the bottom half of the third.
You hear about so many of these pitchers now having Tommy John surgery, and I don't know why that is. You know, maybe overuse, and they're playing baseball year-round and throwing a little bit too much, but a lot of Tommy John surgery out there.
Connor Nygaard hitting .231 so far this season for the Logators. Watches a breaking pitch off the plate. You know, some say it's because they have him throwing so fast and trying to make that ball so explosive. Since they've shortened the amount of time that they're in games, they want to see more pop, more rotation, a little bit more spin rate, which, you hear two stories on that, but that some call it because it's that the clock that's always given them not a chance to kind of regroup or take a deep breath and wearing it down as another. This one's lifted to center field or maybe deep short. It's going to be a perfect approach shot in between everyone, and finally the pitcher Hulke has to run down and cover second. So a double to lead off the bottom of the third for Nygaard, much needed. And now they flip the lineup to the top half in Riola.
Well, nice job by Hulke right there, being aware that he needed to cover. You know, one of the things we always teach is get someplace. You're not a bystander, and that's what Walker was last inning, and that rundown failed because he didn't get over there, where Hulke right here got to second base instead of just standing and watching.
Yeah, it's impressive with Nygaard because he's been a big addition. Coach Matt Merrick had mentioned. First pitch swung on and missed. Hitting, by the way, .325 so far this season is Riola. However, Connor Nygaard was first man out of the pen for Minnesota Duluth this past year, so he gets a chance to drop a double in front of center field and gets, a single. They get a knock now. Good pitch. Some get up and go on that pitch by Hulke. He's ahead in the count to Riola, 0-2.
I would have never guessed Nygaard was a 22-year-old. He's a man. I'll tell you what.
This one's hit deep to left. Going back, wind blowing in at left. Nice play, calibrated. 1 foot on the warning track. And that's a long out for Riola. Had the ball, not that the wind not been blowing in from left, that may have gone yard, but nonetheless, that's the first out of the inning. Runner at first now has Wallen. Steps in, Arrow Wallen.
Yeah, that ball right there was hit, and like you said, Joe, I really haven't noticed, but the flag out there in left field is blowing in pretty good. And he got a hold of that one and put it back to the warning track.
Pickoff attempt. Nygaard is back in time. Arrow Wallen doubled his first time up and picked up an RBI. Looked like a little cutter. There's a throw down, slides right to the bag, and the throw out. Perfect dime that time, right to the tip in the front of the bag, and unfortunately Nygaard was there pretty close. A good call for the one umpire behind the plate, Schmitz, who makes that call.
Yeah, we just got another look at it there, Joe, and that was a great quick release, and it had to be right where it was, and bang, they got him.
So 2 out. This back to Hulke. It goes over his glove and then takes a strange hop once it goes over top of the glove, and the shortstop trying to come up and make a play there, but none to be had. Attempt there by Parker Johnson. It had just a weird hop as initially it took a strange bounce over the glove of Hulke. And then it bounced over the back of the mound. Parker Johnson came charging in, and then it took another hop right up to the heel of his glove. So with 2 outs, there's a runner on for the Logators. Stepping in here, first pitch, grip and rip, is Hewer. Hewer with a fly to center field. His first time up.
Swing and a miss right there.
A bit of a hesitation swing and good pitch by Hulke. Great location, low and on the outside part of the plate.
Well, that's a changeup right there that he threw on the outside corner, and you can't ask for anything better than that. And he had almost double clutched there at the plate because
he did.
He was expecting something different than that.
He started that swing almost twice. 2 outs now, runner on first. Logators trying to punch one across here in the bottom. Bad hop right off the chest of the second baseman. Tough one to recover from there, but
yeah, that was a tough play right there. I mean, it was scorched right at him, and he did everything right. He had the hands out in front, had the body in front, went right off his chest, but that's a tough ball right there.
Stepping in now, the number 4 hitter tonight, Conley. Conley comes in hitting .250. Reed puts a swing on that first pitch. You always kind of watch Pete sometimes for tendencies, and you coached high school this past season for the Tornadoes. I believe VFW this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you kind of try to watch what are little tips and tails that they are picking up from the pitcher. Is he leading with a fastball, breaking pitch, moving the ball in the glove? Runners first and second. This is a drive by Conley. This one's deep, tracking it back in left field. Another great tracking catch in left field. I think we had 2 fly balls that may have gone yard had not the wind been blowing in from left field. And the Logators in Conley retired, and after 3 complete innings, we are tied at 2-2.
Hello, I'm Andrea Christensen, and I wrote the book How Sweet It Is. And it is a fun story set in northern Minnesota in the fictional town of Deep Haven. And it features Robin Fox, who starts out the book living in Paris, working in a bakery. And things get sour for her over there, and so she has to come home and be with her grandparents who run a bakery in Deep Haven, Minnesota. Along the way, she reunites with Sammy Johnson, her high school friend, and they have to figure out a way to save the Fox Bakery. Of course, their relationship simmers and then comes to a boil throughout their time together. I like writing romance because I think that it is a hopeful genre. It is something that creates connections between people. I also like to weave in an inspirational theme because I think that God is the source of all true love.
Get a look in center field. I can't see who is that in center field on it. Andy is out there. Ooh. Nice. Way to go, Andy. We may need you to maybe catch a few of the fly balls out there as well. Does he have any letter? No, Logan, who's in front of us, doesn't need that glove tonight, but he can maybe pass it over to Andy. Nice work, nice camera. Beautiful night here, top half of the 4th. Riola going out, and I tell you, when they say strong up the middle defensively, that's such a key for a team, because to have, when you're pitching and you got confidence in your fielders behind you, as Walker does tonight, you can see Riola went out there and made a nice play, look easy there on the flyout.
Well, Riola doesn't drift. He gets to the spot, and that's what you teach. Turn, get to the spot, and then catch the ball instead of continuing to drift, because that's the time when it starts dropping in. And Riola, he turned, he got there quickly and made an easy play on it. And he was quite a ways out there in center field.
Calvin Harris now steps in. Puts this one high in the air. Could hit a spot, a gap running in. And a beautiful diving catch. Flash into left. The only thing missing was a cape. Beautiful fly. Way to ringing it down. And Nygaard makes that diving catch for the second out of this inning.
All I can say is, wow. There's another look at it. Our guy's got it here.
Pumping it out. Not a lot of reps for Nygaard in college in right field. And he goes down, surrenders the body, and separates the ball with the glove. And a beautiful catch. You could see a bit of a snow cone left. Nice job. Kudos to Nygaard. 2 outs.
Well, what was better yet about that, Joe, is he's a left-hander. It would have been a lot easier for a right-hander to make that catch with the glove on the other hand, which is towards the first base line. And being a left-hander, that was really impressive.
Ethan Schmitz hits this one to deep short. Who's there? Yes, Riola. And Riola pocketed 2 of the 3 putouts here in this top half of the 4th. And now the Logators get a chance. But, wow, is that amazing or what? Just a phenomenal way to play. Pitching all year, coming out of the bullpen, first man out at Duluth. And I know Coach Matt Merrick extremely happy to have him on the squad. Probably didn't expect him to come up with a diving web gem like that all year in right field. But nonetheless, both teams coming up here as we're tied 2-2. And you get a look at beautiful complex and a beautiful night for baseball. A look here at Logators as their team is kind of thinned out after, again, this is their 5th game in 4 days. A big win last night. Got it out a 4-2 win over the Anoka Bucks.
Yeah, here's a great look by our camera crew of the stadium, and you're seeing a lot of these right now where you're getting stands and a great box up here to call games from. So nice job, crew, showing us the friendly confines of Noble Parks Field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got a little sun coming out here, Joe.
Just need to sustain it for the 4th of July as we head to the bottom of the 4th and the Logators.
Well, that's asking a lot this summer, to have no rain for a few days. It's been a rough summer as far as the rain goes for a lot of people. Sure makes the grass green, though.
Tell me you weren't expecting that, right, when you had the winter we had. Swung on and missed.
Weird. I just know my water bill's lower last month. Halke has a pretty good pitch count going right now, as is Walker, so they should be around for a while. Both of them are pitching good games.
Swung on and missed there. Throw down just in time to get him, as they said they needed the throw down to get him, and retired.
Well, it wasn't really hustling out of the box there, and then just saw it and decided to go, and he almost beat that out. That was a close call over there at first base. It's tough being one umpire and not having an umpire out there in the field on steals and plays like that. That was a close play. They probably have to go to New York to see if he was safe or not.
Walker steps in, Blue Walker. The pitcher here tonight getting the nod for the Logators. On the season, Logators come in with a team batting average of .318. On-base percentage of .426. This one's hit hard, squared up. Nice swing, but drifting out to center for the second out on a fly out there by Walker.
Yeah, the wind's starting to die down here. It always does a little bit later in the evening. Watching the flags now, I think a couple hitters for the Logators would have loved it to be down 5 miles an hour, and they might have had 2 home runs there off of Halke. But you know what? Keep the ball in the ballpark, and you have a chance to win.
You got it. Gooley steps in.
Yeah, this is the difference in Halke right now. He's getting ahead on the count. Right there, outside fastball. Goes outside again with a fastball. Let's see if it comes back with a changeup here.
Jerry Gooley comes in hitting this year .385. He was helpful in pregame, getting me all the names and numbers and everything else updated. Certainly throws the ball well out of Maple Grove.
Halke came inside with that one there, trying to change the eye level here a little bit. After a couple of high fastballs, goes low inside.
Two-hopper to third, throws across the diamond in time to get Gooley, and the Logators are quickly retired in order on a clean defensive inning that time for a good team here with the Grizzlies. So we are at the end of 4 complete. Still a 2-2 tie. Welcome back here, Max Strength Grizzlies. Taking on the Logators. Champlin Park. Champlin Park comes in with a mark of 12-8, 6-0 in the Metro Mini. This obviously a non-Metro Mini game. A new pitcher to start here in the 5th as Walker went the first 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, had 3 strikeouts, and he'll give way to Gooley. I was going to mention Gooley's pitching stats. I didn't know that he was going to be coming in, so I'm glad I waited because his numbers are just filthy. As Jerry Gooley, again out of Maple Grove, jumps in. He has an ERA this season of .95. Opponents hitting just .159. We're not talking about my weight, Pete.
No.
This is the opponents and their
that.
batting average. 159, and he has a whip of .84.
Well, that's pretty darn good. Another left-hander, and like you said, he's been filthy. And I'm trying to look at him and wondering if he ever threw against this because we've always seen really good pitchers over at Maple Grove. They have a bunch. They still do.
He is 2-0 as well on the season. Stepping in, the number 9 hitter, Garrett Sullivan. Tries to put a bunt down, not Garrett, but Graham Sullivan. He singled his first time up.
Yeah, good idea right there by Sullivan leading off an inning. He got a lot of speed. You always love to see those speed guys, put one down once a game at least, because and I always talk to kids about, if you're struggling in your batting average, go ahead and lay one down. Looks like a line drive in the book, but everybody wants to swing.
Well, in bunting can be a challenge for some. Of course, they'll say in MLB they're not paid to bunt, nor do they look like they can bunt. Called out on a strike, punched out. opening the fridge, grabbing a beverage, and shutting it down on a punch-out called third strike.
Well, Joe, it's another thing with club baseball. They don't do a lot of it because you're not paying that kind of money to have my kid bunt. And no one's going to pick him up because he bunts. And then you watch the College World Series, and they're bunting all over the place.
They have to bunt with those bats. That's called softening those type of bats that have some pop on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's an art. I used to call it the power of the bunt because you make that defense move. And swung on here by the leadoff hitter, getting his third look of the night, TJ Logan.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the College World Series and some of the games leading up to it, those super regions, because they have some players and it's fast-moving action.
Logan singled and scored. This is a ground ball. Bam! Duriola. Oh, my gosh. A gun charges. An automatic on the throw out. 6-3 goes TJ Logan for the second out here in the top half of the fifth. Drew Charney steps in.
Yeah, Riola had to be decisive on that. The grass here looks like it's really, really thick, so it got in the grass and didn't move too fast, and Riola came up charging, which he needed to do, and made the play at first base.
Swung on, great looking pitch to start that at bat. Charney out of Minnetonka. He's going to Butler University. This, the number 2 hitter, hits a ground ball deep to Riola. He took an approach on it to get it to his forehand and get the release, but it bounces off his glove. That'll be an error on Riola, and that's an anomaly.
Well, if you're going to Butler University, you're a pretty good ball player. That's a D1 program there. Plays some pretty good baseball, so congratulations to him. Lots of speed.
Zach Helfman, I couldn't tell. I had kind of a wall in my eyesight if they would have been on with a single or not. But Helfman steps in here, Zach Helfman. Again, he goes to St. John's University. And Helfman is 2 for 2.
It's just such a good league now with all of these college players that are playing here.
Gooley looked back to runner. Great breaking pitch. Here's the one thing that I see some of those good pitchers do. They don't make a move. They just wait like a second longer to see if that runner gets a little jittery. And when you have a southpaw looking at that runner, and Gooley does a great job of, even when he holds on for that long, sometimes it might disrupt the pitcher's cadence or rhythm, and he came back with a beauty of a breaking pitch.
Now, those left-handers, they shorten up the runners at first for sure. Not much of a lead over there right now. It kind of eliminates the running game.
Here's one off the handle, not going to get to it in left field. Turning, firing, mid throw in all the way. Competitive look and almost able to dart out and get that runner, but not so. So it's definitely a single, but he'll end up at second on that throw. So a single base hit, 3 for 3 is Helfman on the evening. Now runners at second and third here. Pete Hayes and 2 out, and they get the number 4 hitter.
I'll tell you what, a base knock right here would up that ERA, which is under 1 for 9 innings. And there's a couple of runs out there right now. And some really good speed at third base. So any kind of pass ball, and he's in.
Joe Merklowitz. Getting out of Eastridge. Drives this one just off the tip of the glove of Riola. 1 run is in. Throw from center field coming in. This will be close. He's safe. Slid in just ahead of the tag.
Yeah, that was a good call right there. Tough call for the umpire, with the being back behind the catcher, but made the good call, made the right call. Good base running there by Max Strength, and they're up 4-2.
2 RBIs for Merklowitz. Knocks in that time Charney and Helfman who come in.
Here's another look at it, and Riola just missed it right here. Oh, I guess not. I'm behind again, fellas. Sorry about that, but
Parker Johnson steps in here. Johnson, another one of these D1 players. He's out of Valparaiso. All of this has happened, Pete, with 2 outs. In and tight on the pitch by Gooley.
So you tell me how you have 2 or 3 D1 players on your team and you're 1-8. I don't get it.
This one's driven to the gap. More runs to be scored. Nice left-handed swing, certainly a double. Coming around to score is Merklowitz. Merklowitz scores his first run on a beautiful double into the left center gap by Johnson. And he collects his first RBI.
There's that left-hander going the other way again, going the other way with power.
Good smooth swing, as you said, and now it's chance here for Montañez.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the largest, he's not the biggest kid, but man, he puts a little pop into that bat. He's looked good.
Isn't it? It's just that technique.
Absolutely.
The path to the ball.
Use those hips.
Fast the ball, long through ball, and got the right pitch. Gooley got the first 2 hitters this inning. And all of the damage here, the 3 runs have come with 2 outs. This is the number 6 hitter. 0 for 2 is Montañez, and sees flew out twice to Riola at short.
Yeah, the Grizz have come out swinging the bat this inning.
Up high, walked the ladder on that fastball. Had some spunk by Gooley.
All 3 pitchers that we've seen tonight are right in that strike zone. I don't think we've seen a walk yet, Joe. And you got to like that as a fielder. The game moves right along. When your pitcher's throwing strike, if your pitcher's not throwing strikes, you're out there a long time and kind of boring. But these guys are all throwing strikes.
Helps also Brandon Schmidt behind the plate. The umpire really calling a good game as well.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. And, a timeout here by the Logators. What they're talking over here. First baseman coming in, Connolly, talk a little bit. Might be where they're going afterwards.
Maybe a potential is maybe attempt for a pickoff play, or maybe if there's a tell. Maybe at first signs are delivered or what have you. We'll have to see what transpired, but I have a hunch it may be on this pitch. Gooley takes a look. Watches that runner back in the delivery home. Good pitch. This one pushed to right field. Nice hitting. Gathering it in, throwing it in on a dime. Misses the cut all the way to second, and they get the runner advancing to second, but they will count the run that's scored by Parker Johnson. Montañez will get the single. Parker Johnson scores the run, and then Montañez is thrown out at second as he tried to advance.
Here's a look at the replay. Nice ball pushing it into right field. Couple strikes on you. You want to shorten up your stroke. Nice play there. Run scores. Watch Riola. Boom. Start running off the field. Show him the ball. That's a ball player right there.
Yep. Slap the tag. Make it look smooth. Ball gets there before the player, and you slap the tag. 4 runs, though. I had a total of 4 runs on that inning, but they may correct that, because they didn't count the Parker Johnson run. He obviously scored before the tag.
Right. It should be 4.
Charney, Helfman, Merklowitz, and Johnson, I have scored that inning. All of that damage, Pete, with 2 outs.
Yeah, you can see the umpire right now talking to the Logators, saying should be 1 more run up there. If I can read lips from this far, and I
hate to be the moral compass up here and making that play, but
right.
I wouldn't sleep tonight.
No, that's just the way you are, Joe.
Hey, the reason also why.
There it is. It's up.
See, it's up now, ladies and gentlemen. So, at one point, max strength, the Grizzlies were down 2-0, and they have scored 6 unanswered runs, including 4 runs in the top half of the 5th as we now find our way in the bottom of the 5th. And the Logators step in. First pitch ahead in that count. Halke throwing consistent.
Yeah, he's getting ahead in that count. It's always easier to work when you're out in front. See what he comes with right here. Better go get that.
Down to third, going to be a tough play. It throws wide of the mark. Runner will not advance.
You can see that was a tough one right away. Didn't react right away and go get it. You know, and with this grass, you better go get it right now. And took him a little bit too much time, and by the time he had the ball in his glove, I think runner was safe at first. Probably should have held on to that one.
So Nygaard now steps in. Nygaard singled his first time up, also with a beautiful web gem in right field. First pitch called a strike by Halke.
I don't know if they have a scouting report or what, but the right fielder is almost in center field.
Yes. High chopper off of home. Over the short in time, gets that runner that time in Nygaard. Nygaard is retired. Runner advances. So to second here for the Logators.
Yeah, I dropped the ball, but it was during the transfer, I believe. It was pretty close. And you know, that one almost sailed over his head. Not the tallest first baseman in the world, but nice play by the shortstop. And there's one out, the runner moving on to second base. So Halke continues to do a good job here for the Grizz, getting a lot of ground balls.
Riola flew to left field his last time up, going that same path right now to left. This is bounces. Is it a one hop off the fence? It'll be at least a double for Riola. Looks to extend it to a triple, but he'll stay at second, but he gets the RBI.
Well, he hit that one like the last one. This one, with the wind down a little bit, it's kind of shifted, blowing towards center field right now, and almost puts that one out down the line. So Riola continues to impress here for the Logators.
Came in hitting .325, and here bottom of the 5th, cuts into that deficit with an RBI double, setting up Arrow Wallen. Wallen's going to find this one down. No, it's a diving catch in right field. That was slicing, dicing, and coming in from right field. Fortunate he was playing
right center.
Right center. It looked like a roamer in softball there for a minute. But
there's no chance if he's playing the traditional right field to catch that ball. And here's another look at it. And it's a nice play. But there he is, standing in right center field, and he makes the play. And I'm sure that Wallen's going, what is going on here?
That ball was hit square. This is a pass ball. That'll allow Riola to advance to third.
Yeah, he's sitting there. It'd be nice to pick him up if you're a Logator fan. Down by 3 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Hewer last time up hit a tough ground ball that bounced up and hit the second baseman in the chest. That's how he reached base. First time up, he flew out to center field. This one's in and tight. Almost looked like a back foot breaking ball attempt. Good dig that time by the catcher.
Halke getting back in the zone.
As they get set here, again, Champlin Park 12-8. Regular season here. This is straight back. Catch has this. Nice play. And with that, foul ball catching out by the catcher for max strength. The Logators are retired at the end of 5 complete. 6-3 in favor of max strength Sixth inning coming your way.
Government is to see it in action. No fooling. On April 1st, local homeschooled children took a tour of Ramsey's City Hall, police and fire departments, and public works buildings. There, they received an up-close look at the systems that decide where businesses are built, how water is transported from deep underground all the way to their faucets at home, and the different tools police officers use to assist during an emergency. Several highlights of the day included trying on the protective gear utilized by the police department and exploring the big machines that plow snow, move dirt, and much more. These tours aren't just limited to school groups. If you'd like a closer look at how Ramsey functions, you're welcome to attend City Council and Advisory Board meetings and arrange a tour of your own. Feel free to give the city a call at 763-427-1410.
There you get a look at the lights. They're set up here as the Logators, a home field here for the Champlin Park squad. They've had success both in the Metro Minnie, a couple of seasons of winning some back-to-back Metro Minnie titles, led by manager Matt Merrick. But they have a sighting this year that was pretty impressive, Pete.
Yes, they did. A young man out of Eastridge. And you probably have the name.
Luke
I know
Ryers.
of him. Yeah. Well, what a kicker he is.
Yeah, he'll be playing football at Alabama.
They're not very good.
New head coach, but yeah, a punter. I haven't seen him punt. You have.
Well, his field goal kicking is what impresses me. He can punt, too. He's probably going to do both of them for him and do those two things at Alabama, unless he's strictly a field goal kicker for him. But this kid's kicking 60-yarders, and he's in high school and also a great baseball player. So I think he's going to try to double dip down there at Alabama. But he's an impressive kid, and he's coming here to the Logators. And I know he had a bad arm this year, but he can hit the snot out of the ball. Can I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did.
Just did.
It's not on the mic, but on the ball. But that's good. It's strikeout here as Harris, who made that web gem in right field just last inning, goes down swinging, his first strikeout of the night. The second strikeout here for Gooley. Gooley starting his second inning as we are in the sixth.
Another one of those left-handers for the Grizz coming to the plate.
Yeah, it's Ethan Schmidt. Schmitz is 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, this kid's a good hitter right here. Not afraid to bunt, but he's behind in the count right now, so not expecting that, especially with the third baseman back as far as he is.
Playing some college ball, University of Morris, Minnesota Morris out of St. Louis Park. As Gooley trying to get the team back off the field so they can hit again here as we are at the top half of the sixth. After the Grizzlies put up 4 in that fifth, they took a 6-2 lead. Able to make that catch in center field. Well done.
Yeah, that's the wind right there, blowing that one in. Had to come in hard for that one. Thought
And
it
they
was going to
switched
hang
some
out.
numbers for us also. And I'm going to look for Andy to get us that number, the shot from the back of that center fielder. It is. Thank you.
Way to go, Andy.
They switched it around. We didn't get the notifications. There's no public address, but that is okay. Andy, thank you for that update.
You know, that is a great spot out there where the truck is, underneath that berm. Would we call that a berm out there? Or is that a hill? The hills of 610.
Oh, yes. The 610 again.
The 610 here in California.
Yeah. Nygaard makes that nice play in center field. Next hitter up goes down swinging, and that's Graham Sullivan, the number 9 hitter. second strikeout, second time he has faced Gooley. Goes down swinging again, and we are heading to the bottom of the sixth. And let's see if the Logators can get something going.
Well, they really needed that out of Gooley. Struggled in his first inning in there, but came in here and went 1, 2, 3, and see if the Logators, they got one back last inning, see if they can get another 1 or 2 here off of Hulky, and you're wondering how long he's going to go. Not quite sure what his pitch count is.
And the reason earlier I had mentioned about Palmer in Jacksonville is because Martin, the outstanding utility center fielder, I think he's been a phenomenal player for the Twins this year. Read an article that he was actually going to go to Jacksonville, and I thought, cool. It was about the same time Palmer was going to be down there, his last year for Palmer, Trent Palmer, who was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays, former Anoka high school baseball player as well. But he decided last minute it was Vanderbilt who gave an offer. And Martin has been fun to watch.
He really has.
I saw him in St. Paul last summer. He was playing second base one game, another, but he could put the bat on the ball. He just activates when he's out there. Everything activates, great fielding play and offense. And he decided not to go to Jacksonville, but went to Vanderbilt. And that was a good decision. National championship, also missed by a percentage point, I think, Pete, of winning the batting title.
Yeah, he's a good hitter. He bats from both sides of the plate. And the thing that he adds to that Twins lineup is speed. When he gets on base, and even as a utility guy, they can put him in late to steal a base. So he's a real good one for the Twins, I think.
Conley now steps in and gets his third look at Hulky here tonight.
You better watch out if you make a mistake. Good pitch to come back and go 1-1. You don't want to go 2-0 to this guy because he could launch one.
Took the left fielder to the fence, at least just a couple steps onto the warning track for the out his last time up. And an explosive breaking pitch that time by Hulky. This one's lifted to right. New right fielder in play as well here for Max Strength. They didn't like, apparently, that diving catch in right field, and they have replaced him.
This guy's playing in the normal position out there in right field.
I was waiting for a follow-up comment.
Maybe that's why they took him out, going, what are you doing? But then he makes a great play and being in the right spot. So nice, easy fly ball out to right field there in the normal spot.
Stepping in here is Tyler Horning. Horning, a .348 hitter.
I'm kind of locked in on the outfield because that was my job with the high school team. We do a lot of scouting and we do a lot of charts and things where people hit it. So I was always moving outfielders, know where people were hitting the ball. So I kind of have a like for that. Not saying I'm good at it, but I have a like for it.
Swung on, missed second time for a strikeout on the night there for Horning, and Logators with 2 outs. Up comes the starting pitcher this evening, and Lou Walker, hitting .333 on the season. Takes a first pitch and finds an eye-seeing single between first and second, gets the roller through. First hit of the night for Walker. So let's see what the Logators can do with 2 outs. In fact, it was with 2 outs that Max Strength put up 4 runs.
Yeah, they'd like to get something going here with 2 outs.
Gooley takes the first pitch and goes right up the middle, helping the cause. Nice pop there off the bat of Gooley. Got the pitch up high, first pitch. I couldn't tell what it was at that pitch, but with 2 outs, they don't want to get anything started.
Well, here comes the coach out for the Grizz to talk to Hulky, and I don't know if there was
It's
somebody warming up out there in the bullpen or not.
Graham Anderson is the manager for the squad.
A good color commentator guy would have been looking at the bullpen and seeing if someone was warming up, and don't see anybody out there now. That doesn't mean somebody couldn't have been out there early.
Perhaps trying to find their way through this inning here. Get it and work it into the bottom of the sixth.
Well, Hulke's going to try to get out of this
Logators,
sixth inning.
this game, as I mentioned, hitting .318 on the season. They have scored 129 runs.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't want to get around to Riola the way that he's hitting the ball. And
You don't want to flip it to him, that's for
no,
sure.
and you're 2 hitters away from that.
Gooley on first, Walker on second, back-to-back singles with 2 outs. Here's another single. Beautiful. Runging it in, and Walker's going to come all the way home to score with a 2-out rally here. And now Logators have pushed a run across to cut the deficit now to 6-4 with 2 outs and runners at first and second. They found something really with that first pitch, it appears, Pete.
Well, he's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. And you want to have a plan when you go up to the plate. If he's throwing that fastball down the middle, that's the one you want to hit. And that's what they've been doing. And so you might want to nibble on those corners a little bit more. Start them off with a breaking ball if you have trust in your breaking ball. This is a big out to get right here for Hulke with Riola on deck, and then we're 6-4. It says 6-3 up on the board, but it's 6-4.
Nygaard. A single. First time up, and then a couple of ground outs to short his last 2, but he's had a couple of spectacular plays in the field.
Well, there's some action now in the bullpen, getting out there and getting loose, but he won't be ready to go here for a little bit.
Called a strike there.
That's good pitch, bailing out right there. Curveball. Hulke getting back into the count here at 2-2. So big pitch coming up here for Hulke and the Grizz. 2-run game and a couple of guys on base. Be interested to see what he comes with here.
Again, you said it, tough hitter, but flipping the lineup and getting that leadoff hitter Riola back up there.
Well, 3-2, they're going to be going, so a base hit's going to score 1. Anything in the gap's probably going to score 2, and we'll be all tied up. So this is the big pitch in the ball game, in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Looking in, and now the delivery by Hulke. A number to second, stays down, no, bobbles it, finally gets it, possesses it, and gets the runner just by a quick step, Nyland. Nygaard retired, and Nygaard goes down 4-3, and Logators are retired, but they punch up another run and now have cut the deficit to 6-4 after 6 complete.
Hi, I am Rachel Jorgensen, and I'm the author of this book, Supporting Your Child with Special Needs, 50 Fundamental Tools for Families. And if you know anyone or you yourself are raising a child with special needs of any kind, I have been a special educator for 20 years, almost 20 years. And so I wrote this book to help families navigate the special education system, to help them intervene with their child at home to support growth, and then finally to connect with themselves and to prevent their own burnout as they're raising their child.
Top half of the 7th. This is a QCTV Sports presentation coming to you from Noble Field here in Brooklyn Park, just off of the 610. And you get a chance to see some great ball. Home of the Champlin Park Logators, team that has now, counting tonight, this is their 5th game in 4 days, and with the 4th of July weekend upon us, probably the last weekend that some of the guys will be able to get away and get some good family time on the weekend before the run to the state tournament.
What would we say, about halfway through the season or over that?
I'd say just about half.
Yeah.
They'll start running up the numbers again. Of course, manager Merrick always loves to play as many games as possible to try to get his team prepped for that postseason. So leadoff hitter, and Gooley back out there. This is 3rd inning of service on the mound. Punched across and led here. In the top half of the 7th is TJ Logan.
Yeah, he's tough on those lefties. Got that swooping curveball there. Tried to go fastball outside that time. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes back with a curveball here.
Logan, 1 for 3. Again, it was this team, this top half of the inning that really did some damage when Gooley came in.
You know, I have to correct
5th.
myself. I'm saying swooping. It's looping. I think I've said that a couple times. You should have corrected me. Hey, a looping curveball.
Well, you know, you got the sweeper.
You got the sweeper. Yep, that's kind of a mix between the two, right? The swooper.
No, it's the combo. It's trendy.
As my wife would say, that's a Hayesism.
There's a fly ball. No, it's a little flare to 3rd instead. Retired quickly. TJ Logan for the first out here, top half of the 7th. Logators trying to keep this close. Down at 1 point by 4.
Oh, we got a great ball game going here and a great night. Weather is perfect. You know, see a few long sleeves on. It's humid to start, but it starts cooling off a little bit. The evening time here.
Drew Charney certainly not cheated on that swing as Minnetonka High School grad, also out attending Butler University. Reached his last time up and scored. Reached base on that a single. Gooley kind of getting in. He's one of those pitchers that, hey, 5, 6, 7 innings, and he's just starting to get into the groove. So this is his 3rd inning of work. The 2nd time for some of these hitters as they get a look. It was the number 9 hitter, really, Pete, for Max Strength that got things going. Graham Sullivan, who led off the inning in which they produced some big runs and productivity. But that 5th inning, all 4 runs were scored with 2 outs.
Yeah, they closed the gap. You know, Logators started off with a 2-0 lead, then fell down 6-2, and now they've cut into it 6-4 going into the 7th inning here.
Max Strength Grizzlies out of the Riverview Conference. They're going to be playing Coon Rapids just after the 4th of July, back up here, taking on the Redbirds.
You know, I've always wondered, Joe, how they decide who the guys are that get to play in that Northwoods Wood Bat League over, you know, kids like this. Here's a guy who played at Butler and he's playing men's baseball, and you know, some of these guys are. So you know, if it comes from the coaches or how they decide on who gets to play in that league. I know that Reagan Reeder that we had last year who played at Illinois, he's playing up in Duluth and doing well. And Jackson Hauge plays with St. Cloud. And you see some guys who you think are really, really good ball players, and they're playing in the men's league, which is not a rip on the men's league at all, but how those guys get to play on those Northwoods teams in the New England Cape Cod League and things like that, because, you know, you see some of these guys here and they can really play.
This one's lifted high. Helfman to center. There with the grab, as he has been all night, flashing the leather in every position in right field and center field. And the out here gathered in there by Nygaard. So they are retired. Top half of the seventh inning stretch. And let's take a look at the schedules.
I'm looking at the sky. That's great.
That's a
great
spectacular.
shot.
It truly is. So Castlefield concert and July 4th celebration. I think that's an ideal time here on QCTV, especially tomorrow night, since they seem to be canceling a lot of the fireworks celebrations for Thursday. So ideal time. That should be a great concert. And then followed up by the Anoka concert, Elvis tribute. Thank you very much. Followed by the Andover Fun Fest parade. Jim Childs and I will be handling the chores there. That's on the 13th. And then more Metro Mini Baseball on the 15th. Coming your way here on QCTV. But, Pete, are we going to hear you and your band? Well, let's take a look at the Max Strength Grizzlies schedules coming up. As I mentioned, Coon Rapids Redbirds. That's who they'll be playing next here on the 8th of July, just after the 4th. Stillwater Loggers on the 10th, followed by the Northwest Orioles. On the 12th, Watertown and St. Louis Park on the 14th. I'm telling you, these teams load up for a lot of games here through the month of July. Gear up, and then postseason for money, they hope, in August. Northwest Orioles on July 8th for the Logators. And then on the 9th, it's the Redbirds. Nice little rivalry there, followed by Minneapolis Angels as they try to avenge a loss last year to the Angels in the state tournament. And then they take on the Aces at Andover on the 13th, and the Anoka Bucks. They revisit the Anoka Bucks, a team they got a win last night 4-2.
Yeah, that's a lot of baseball. A lot of baseball in July, and these guys love to play baseball. You know, that's why they continue playing baseball after their college careers or high school careers, and you know, they don't go on to playing slow pitch softball like I did. They go on and keep playing baseball and using that wood bat and watching that fastball and smelling the grass. So it's great baseball to watch and some really, really good players.
Riola steps in here, and he's 2 for 3 on the night. The only one out he had was a deep fly ball to left field caught on a warning track. This one's a knock up the middle, 3 for 4. A double his last time up for Riola. Came in hitting .325. And I don't have the analytics in my brain to be able to calculate what he's hitting now. But, again, a leadoff single here in the 7th as the Logators down by 2. Followed up here by Arrow Wallen.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Riola run, but they have had one guy thrown out. They do need a couple runs, so might wait a pitch or two here. Nope, yeah, he faked it there.
Stolen that first inning. 7 stolen bases for Riola. Leads the team in that category.
I'll keep an eye on him down here at first base and see if he's going to try to pick up that extra base on Hulky. Big kid. Got to watch that. Probably going to slide step here with him on. You can see he's a little bit worried about him, although they do have a 2-run lead. You want to work on that hitter. Hate to put that tying run on.
Wallen having an impressive first half of the season. Hitting .346.
Yeah, a couple of pretty impressive hitters at the top of this lineup. Good table setters. They did it in the first inning, and they're hoping to do it here again in the 7th.
2 for 3 and a gapper diving catch in the right field on a line drive by Wallen is the only reason he's not 3 for 3.
Now that fastball there was inside, and Wallen didn't even move.
Arrow Wallen in tight again. Almost nicked him. It looked like he thought it did, but nonetheless, that's the 4th ball. So runners first and second. Is that going to be it, Pete?
I think so. I think that's the end of it right here for Hulke, who did a really nice job tonight for the Grizz, but they should have a pitcher warmed up and ready to go now, even though I don't see anybody coming in. Maybe it's somebody from a fielding position.
I haven't seen, and we had talked about a lack of walks in this game, which is great. I'm looking at my scorebook here.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been any.
Just the one right now to Wallen.
Well, and he was hit by a pitch.
Was that the hit by pitch? I thought that was ball four. My bad.
Yeah, I think it nicked him on the arm there.
So set up here, and Hulke, as I mentioned before, trying to find some of his statistical data.
I think this would be a time, Joe, where they would make that move unless they don't have anybody they can go to. You know, and I'm not sure how many pitches Hulke has. I don't think it's that bad. He's had a couple of really quick innings, and he's going to stay in the game right now for the Grizz. They probably played a lot of games here recently too, and it could be guys on vacation, and the pitching's a little depleted this week. That's one thing that happens in this league is you don't have everybody every night, where you don't have to worry about that in high school. They're going to be there every day.
St. Louis Park, home of those max strength Grizzlies. A bunch of players from Bloomington, Eden Prairie, South Metro. Play at 6500 West 26th Street in St. Louis Park. Now look, runners at first and second. For the Logators, Hewer is up.
Hulke starts him off with a changeup, gets him swinging, and then misses outside with that high fastball.
Hewer over 3 tonight and looking to make a difference here. The table is set and a chance for the Logators to cut into a 2-run deficit. Swung on and missed there.
Well, Hulke once again ahead in the count.
Hewer hitting .250 on the season. There's a pitch hit to right. Could be foul. It is, and it's out of bounces in foul territory. So Hewer that time gets ahead. Out in front of an off-speed pitch.
Well, he's hanging in there, shorting up on his swing a little bit. Trying to punch one through, which isn't always the easiest thing for a number 3 hitter to do. They want to swing away.
The Logators have won 6 of their last 7, 8 of their last 10 games. Hewer lifts this one to right. Looking like Trevor's seeing the ball. Coming all the way over from center field, and that drops in, and that will be a single. Bases are now juiced. It looked like the right fielder really had trouble tracking the ball from the start. And then out of nowhere, came the center fielder, dove for that ball, but couldn't come up with it.
This is a terrible time of night to see a ball, Joe. I mean, it's hard for us to see it right here. So
yeah, it is.
Imagine those guys. So, yeah, he didn't see that ball, and that's too bad because there was an out, and instead bases are loaded, and you have your cleanup hitter coming out.
Is this officially dusk?
I would say this is dusk. I don't know if there is an official dusk.
Is it before dusk or middle of dusk? And leaving is Hulke. So he will exit here. He'll go 6 complete. Here in the 7th, he has faced 3 batters. They've all reached base.
Well, here they come. We'll see what they come with here for the Grizz. They're talking about something out there. Not sure what it is, but we don't see a pitcher appearing yet.
I think they might be talking about Andy and the camera out in center field. Maybe, maybe he's doing something to distract the Grizzlies. But we'll try to mic it up. I think we should probably mic up that rubber on the mound next time we can figure out what the conversation's about. So the manager, Graham Anderson, makes the move. Taking over now, it appears to be number 18, Reese Chiriboga. Chiriboga out of Wyzetta. getting his first look. And he'll inherit the bases juiced here with no outs. And the Logators down by 2, 6-4.
Just what you want to do. Come in with bases loaded, nobody out in the 7th inning. You're up by 2, and the cleanup hitter's coming up. That's awesome.
That is a character builder.
Well, watching
could
him
see that he was pretty much done.
Yeah, watching him warm up here, looks like fastball, pretty good curveball, missing the strike zone a few times here in his warm-up. Haven't seen his changeup, but so I think we're going to be a 2-pitch. Can't imagine he wouldn't have that changeup.
Well, Reed Conley will step in. Conley comes in hitting .250 on the season. This is 7th game of the season. His 3 RBIs. Takes a rip at the first pitch. Fouls it back.
Well, he gets ahead in the count. That's the big thing right here. Now looking for a ground ball, see if they can get 2, give up that run. Got the infield back.
Certainly some off speed, trying to maybe induce a ground ball and perhaps a double play. Bottom of the 7th on a spectacular sunny, what's turned into a sunny evening. Another breaking pitch hits the corner of the plate there.
There's that looping curveball.
It is. It doesn't look like a 12-6, but it just certainly just sweeps across that plate, but definitely the loop as well.
And we're going to see it again. You watch. Here we go. Nope, my bad.
I'm not sure what that pitch was, but I can tell you right now, they're not throwing any fastballs to Conley.
Well, last time they got him out when they went outside. You know, they pitched it outside, and they got him to fly to right field. And I think the Logators would take a deep fly here and cut this thing to 1.
No room on the base path right now. Riola comes a quarter of the way down, starts running down that base path, and stepping off was Chiraboga. Chiraboga now resets. And the delivery. A base knock. Hit it on the screws. 1 run is in. The throw coming home, but cut off. Elevating and bringing it down at third was Grant Hallman. And 1 run across and a key RBI single there for Conley. RBI number 4 on the season. Riola scores, bases still juiced, and now.
Yeah, now you're hoping that you don't have that big inning against you. You want to stay in the game. They're still back in the middle here. Turn a double play up on the corners. 6-5 game.
Horning steps in here.
Now that misplayed fly ball to center field is looking pretty big here with nobody out. Oh, that curveball came in. That was nice.
That was froze. Robinson takes a look there at that pitch. And
tell you what, you throw that again, and
Walker in the on-deck circle.
He's got no chance. Came back with the fastball there on the outside edge. Big out for the Grizz from St. Louis Park.
Okay, so 1 down. Look at these last 2 pitches.
Here's that big curve.
Yeah, that's almost that old Bugs Bunny breaking pitch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then he comes with the heat. Nice sequence of pitches there.
Good camera work. And there. So a chance here for the starting pitcher to be a hero. A knock would put the Logators ahead. Here's a dribbler to second. That's going to tie it up at least A pitch to first by the running second baseman. An RBI for Lou Walker. Lou was the starting pitcher here this evening. Fresh graduate from Southwest Minneapolis. Scored a run his last time up, and this time picks up an RBI. And now we're knotted up at boxcar. 6-6.
Well, chance here for the Logators to take the lead with the Maple Grove kid.
As Gooley will get a look. Gooley drilled a single his last time up. Grounded to the pitcher his first time up, and then to short his second at bat. Almost got him.
Well, he hung in there.
He did.
He did not bail out.
Gooley on the season came in to this game with 14 at-bats, a .385 hitter, 5 hits. He's got his 6th hit tonight. And he would love to get an RBI here with runners at second and third, 2 outs and a chance.
Yeah, great opportunity for the Logators to take the lead here.
Three balls, 1 strike. I'm sure Gooley sitting on breaking ball here. 3-1 hitters count.
Our scorekeeper's struggling a little bit here. It's 7-5 up
They've
on the
total
board.
12 runs.
You know, you confuse old guys like me. It's 6-6, and now the bases are loaded.
Struggling to throw some strikes when needed. Right now is Chiraboga, although he got a key strikeout, the previous batter. We got 2 outs, 6-6.
It's cooling off out here a little bit, Joe. Gotta like it. A little humid today, but beautiful to watch. Beautiful night to watch baseball tonight. Here in this 4th of July week. If you're not out fishing or at the lake, this is a good place to be.
Also in the on-deck circle is Nygaard. He's the number 9 hitter.
Want to get ahead in the pitch count here. That one's just a little up.
Look in here, and a wonderful chance for the Logators to take the lead. A lead they had in that first inning. Swung on and missed.
That's a good hack right there.
Get the chance to kind of sit on a pitch that you really want. You wait for it. Been struggling to locate the curveball. And let's see the delivery now. There's the breaking pitch just off the plate.
Yeah, that one started a little bit outside. Didn't quite catch that corner. When he starts it inside, it has a good break to it. Usually throwing it right down the heart. Time out by the batter.
Let's refuel, take a fresh look, and reset. Up high's had a hack, had a good look, was sitting on the pitch, got the pitch, but swung on by.
Tell you what, when he throws that fastball, he's got some good velocity on it. It makes that curveball tough to hit.
Kind of throwing backwards, a lot of breaking off speed, and this time misses up high. No room to put him. Bases are juiced. Full count, 2 outs. Clutch time now here for the Logators.
Don't want to get cheated here. Anything close, want to be swinging.
Strike 3. Caught a ball, dotted the eye, the outside part of the plate. And the Logators score 2 more, but leave the bases juiced. And we are at the end of 7 complete, and we're tied at 6-6.
City of Champlin would like to invite you to the Business Connections Network event. This event is free to local business owners. Take advantage of this great opportunity to network and hand out your business cards. In partnership with the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, this great event will be held at the Champlin, Mississippi Crossings Event Center on May 9th at 7:30 a.m. So be sure to get up early, get ready to network, and we'll see you in Champlin on May 9th.
Isaac Wenzel takes the mound now for the Logators. Third pitcher of the night, the southpaw, making his fourth appearance of the season.
Another southpaw for the Logators. Thrown three of them out there tonight. Different look from all three of them. Looks like he's about 3/4 over the top here.
Out of Minnetonka, from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, a 6-footer, 200 pounds, and Isaac Wenzel. 2 innings pitched, 2 1/3 so far this season, an ERA of that's his whip of 3.86. 4 strikeouts and 9 walks. Let's get a look here at the southpaw. Sometimes they're going for the trifecta tonight.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, even at the major league level. But not the Logators. They got at least 3 of them because we're seeing 3 of them tonight.
Well, the one thing that they have been struggling with the last couple of games, I know Coach Matt Merrick had said leaving runners on base. They've had a couple of chances, and especially the last inning, they had bases juiced on a couple of occasions. They were able to get 2 in. But even against Anoka, I think they left about 15 to 16 men on base in their win over the Bucks.
Yeah, been there, done that. There's nothing more disappointing as a coach seeing that. And you want to get those runs in. You only get so many opportunities a game. You got to make sure you put them across the plate.
So here we go, top half of the 8th. Both teams, same percentage of winning as it was in the first pitch. Left-hander throws a strike right out of the gate. Good-looking one that came across about hip high.
Yeah, good start getting up in the count here early.
Just off the plate.
He's done a really nice job here. The plate umpire making calls. We have a great view, and he's done a really nice job.
He really has. Keeps the game moving. Good pitch. Took something off. Eddie Winters, the hitter here for the Grizzlies.
Looking to get that leadoff guy on and get something going here for the Grizz after the Logators come back and tie it up.
Straight back, trying to get that leadoff hitter. Such a critical element here, especially as you start each inning. Parker Johnson is in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, he's the kid from Valparaiso, isn't that right, Joe?
It is correct.
He's a good player. He's hit the ball well tonight, has good speed. So, yeah, you don't want anybody on base before him.
Trying to grab that plate and get it back. Eddie Winters out of Golden Valley. Played high school ball at Hopkins. The right-handed hitter. Gets a curveball here, sends that foul, lives to play another pitch.
You know, all 3 of these left-handers for the Logators are pretty similar. Good curveball, pretty good velocity on their fastball.
Ground ball. Just off the line at third. Reset. And he'll get another look. You know, usually you see the result on these situations when you see this many pitches that a hitter is getting a chance to see back as a base hit, but they have a loose ball that they have to attend to. Isaac Wenzel, again, making his appearance here. Pitched earlier against the Hopkins Berries. That was on June 11th, and then on June 5th against the Miesville Mud Hens. The Mud Hens, by the way, we talked about those rankings. They're one of the top teams. I think they are the number one team, or at least currently in the Class B rankings as they merged the A and the B last season.
You know, they've been around forever.
This is a ground ball to third. Running up the glove, making the play. Throw in time. Can't get the scoop. Runner will advance to second on the air. Hustling down, trying to get to the ball and corral it.
Yeah, tried to scoop that one up. Bobbled a little bit at third base. Couldn't come up with that scoop at first base. Now getting back to the Mud Hens.
Horning with that play at third. But
they get a lot of players from Mankato State. You know, I know they've been around forever because I have. And back when I went to school, a lot of my buddies played for them, my baseball friends, and they are always really, really good. And that town comes out and supports them.
It does.
They are out there.
The Moondogs. Huh?
Yeah, Moondogs. Is that what it is? What did I say? Mud Hens?
No. Were you talking about Miesville?
Yeah,
Miesville, yes, of course. The Miesville Mud Hens. I'm talking, coming up from Mankato. There's a nice breaking pitch. That probably the most crisp breaking ball, but you're right. And who can forget, you got a great steakhouse just outside that field, across the street at Miesville. Great facility.
I'm guessing they have a good pub, too.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. As Parker Johnson retired on some filthy breaking pitches by Isaac Wenzel.
Well, that's lefty on lefty right there. And the young man I was talking about, here's another look at it right here. And he changed it up on him and twisted him into the ground.
So, key out here as Parker Johnson, lefty who's had some success, goes down swinging. And now, stepping in, taking a grip and a rip on that first pitch.
Once again, not a bunt league.
Grant Hallman.
You get that leadoff guy in second, and we would have been butting him over to third base and knocking him in from there or squeezing him in, but these guys didn't sign up for this to bunt.
Grant Hallman out of Chaska. Well, he's at the University of Sioux Falls. This is a pop up to second, easily there, and have it. Collected and corralled. At second, key outs here. See if they can end an opportunity here for the Blazers. Nice play at second by Wallen on that pop out.
Yeah, they need to get this run in here. The Logators are coming around to the top of that order again, and you know what that means.
Will Nelson steps in out of Blake High School.
Once again, good job by the catcher there in holding the ball instead of throwing that one, possibly throwing it away. That's these smart baseball players, and here's another look at it. When you're not going to get that sure out, you don't want to be throwing that ball into left field and giving up the tie game into the lead for the Grizz.
Boy, he's really coming in tight, locking them up so they can't get that big swing on, even on the right-handed hitters. Here's Wenzel.
Yeah, everything's been hit into the ground. Like you said, he's in on the hands.
The delivery now by Wenzel, and a good pitch there. Nowhere to go with that pitch. About ankle high. Moving in one direction, back down. You can't lift it up. And now he's ahead of the count 1-2. Runner at third. 2 outs. That's the go-ahead run. Slap foul.
You know, besides not seeing any walks, one hit batter, we haven't seen any pass balls, any wild pitches. It's just been a clean game. A couple errors in the game, and that's been about it. A lot of strikes being thrown, a lot of hits. Fun baseball game to watch. There's the pass ball.
On cue. That's the go-ahead run now for the Grizzlies.
That's not a call, is it?
Oh, man.
No, it is not. There it is. That's a wild pitch right there. That is a tough ball.
Sometimes when you're trying to throw the perfect pitch, it can get away from you. Reaching on an error, the leadoff hitter, that time a fastball off the mark there by Wenzel.
That one's the back screen, too. Now you just got to settle back in, throw strikes, get out of here, let your bats go to work for you.
An unearned run, by the way, for Wenzel. If that's of any value right now, they like to get the win. They trail by 1 now, the Logators.
Yeah, get this third out right here. 3-2 count. Keep them off the base. Go to work.
Eddie Winters reached on that error. The errant throw up the line, and now getting the walk here in the top half of the 8th.
Well, that's called battling right there. I mean, he battled up there. He was down 2 strikes. Battled, took a few pitches.
You got it.
Fouled a few pitches off, finds himself on first base. So, nice at-bat by the young man.
It was Will Nelson who picked up that walk.
That's all he's throwing now is wild pitches.
That's been thrown behind him.
Oh. If he hears this broadcast, he's going to be mad at me. I jinxed him. Not that there's any superstitious guys in baseball.
Oh, that doesn't exist.
No.
Ethan Schmitz looking to reach base here for the first time tonight, 0-for-3. Breaking pitch, strike. Nope. Up high. Just up high. Runners, just one at second. One has crossed already. Strike there as he tried to check his swing. He did check his swing, but the ball was a strike.
He's tough on these lefties. Sorry, Joe.
No, it's all right. Spinner. Some success there. Comes back with a spinner that time, and it hits the batter. Tried to come right back. It's almost like he looked back at that runner, and then he started in motion, almost took his eyes off the target. And so now, with 2 outs, runners at first and second, manager Matt Merrick going out to have a chat. Guy's a born catcher, a born leader. Gets out there trying to settle down his young southpaw.
Well, these guys, they're not afraid to get hit. You know, those high school kids, they're bailing out. These guys, they just turn their bodies and they walk down to first base, and it hurts, but they're pretending like it doesn't. And they have a bigger bruise than the high school kid, but yeah, none of them are bailing out.
Chance now for the team manager to get a clutch hit. It's Graham Anderson about to step in. Plays at Hamlin, or did, out of St. Louis Park High School.
Yeah, these managers, they love the game. That's why they're doing this, and it's a lot of work, you know, scheduling games and being at practice and putting the right people out there.
Number down the third base line, that's going to make it. And that was a swinging bunt. And Anderson is running all the way out to right field. He was not about to be punched out at first on that swinging bunt. It was a high hop and just rolled and stayed fair in that grass. You mentioned grass a little thick out there, and here's another look.
Yeah, that grass just killed that one right there and as far back. He didn't do the chop look to the right after he went by first base to see if there was a ball thrown away. I think he almost ran out to the right field pole.
That's a base knock and an RBI for the manager. All the runs tonight for the Grizzlies have come with 2 outs, including the 2 here in the 8th. Breaking pitch, leaning out that time.
There's a couple nice pitches right there.
Yeah, they had some snap, some good spin rate on it. The DJ Logan, the leadoff hitter, getting his 5th appearance of the night.
Yeah, his problem is his control right now.
There's one lofted line drive to third, and the inning is over, but not before the Grizzlies put up 2 more runs with 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th. And let's see what the Logators have in mind as they try to counter the crooked number put up by the Grizzlies here in the bottom of the 8th, Pete.
Well, I think they're coming around to the top of the order, and you know what that means. Riola coming up, and he's had a great night for the Logators, and Wallen right behind him's hitting the ball well. So try to get those 2 guys on base and see if they can push him around. If Riola can get on, he's going to be stealing, that's for sure. And I'm not sure if they're back to the top or not here, but they're awful close. I know that.
Reese Cheriboga back out there again for the Grizzlies. And they are at the top of the order are the Logators. A welcome visit from Riola, who comes in 3 for 4 on the night. The only time he was out was when he hit a deep, sharp fly ball to left field that took the fielder back to the warning track into the drive into that tough wind blowing in from left field. So he'll get his first look.
Actually, I think it's 9-1-2. See 55.
Oh, you do have it. You're correct. Nygaard is coming up.
Nygaard, and then to Riola, and then
You
Wallen.
are correct. Thank you for catching that.
And Nygaard's hit the ball tonight.
Yeah, he's played well in the field for a relief pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely.
And made one beautiful catch. Extended himself. Only thing missing was the cape. Flashed some leather, made a beautiful catch, and then took one off his shoestrings in center field to make a nice catch earlier, which was snubbed. A chance there for them to get some additional runs.
You know, a guy like him who's up at UMD and is the top reliever, you know, he's not hitting up there, but he was a hitter in high school, and he's got love playing summer baseball.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come back. I'm not just a pitcher. I'm going to hit. You know, so I'm going to make diving catches out in right field. So you got to love a guy like this who comes back and he can hit the ball again like he did in high school.
Logators down by 2. Number 9 hitter Nygaard looks at his first pitch for a strike. He's up in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the 8th, Joe rolling along with Say Hey Pete Hayes. I will say we lost a good center fielder in Willie Mays just about a week ago.
Yeah, that's a shame. What a player he was.
I love watching those basket catches.
Yeah,
I mean, just the ones in front of him consistently, just how tough that is to make. There's a flare. I think that's going to get in. Drop down, just strategically placed. Just over the head of the shortstop. Nygaard thinks about going as the first baseman struggles to get that ball into his glove on the transfer. So ahead, second knock of the night here for Nygaard. Always good to have the number 9 hitter reach base. And now you flip the lineup with no outs. And Riola steps in.
Yeah, he's had a good night. 3 hits. His out was driven to the fence against the wind in left field.
Sam Riola won't be pitching this year. Has yet to be determined if it will try, but trying to get his arm ready as it is throughout the season. But, I mean, always bringing that bat, that glove, that mindset.
Yeah, he's a good player, that's for sure, and he's coming up in a big spot here for the Logators.
I mean,
Down by 1.
You could put a C on his chest that stands for captain, but for me it would be consistency. 325 hitter coming in. This is a deep fly to center. It's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Just missing on that ball.
Yeah, that's a big out right there. Sam, I bet, would want that one back. He's kind of reaching out there and not what you're looking for on that pitch.
Yep, just off stride, just missed it, so now 1 out. The number 2 hitter steps in.
Let's see what Wallen can do here for the Logators.
Yep, Arrow Wallen.
The wind is still coming in from left field right now. Looking at the flags. It's going to take a lot to get one out of here.
Wallen, a new contributor this year. Was at St. Cloud State. Now in the transfer portal.
There's a couple guys in that transfer portal, isn't there?
Yeah, 1 or 2. This one's lifted. Kind of a long shoulder swing. Missed that one, but lifts it foul. He's had a good night at the plate. As Aaron Wallen started the game off with his first at bat with a double and an RBI, bringing in Riola. A single. His second at bat, followed by fly to right field. That was that diving catch in right field. And then he walked. Was actually hit by pitch his last time up.
That's a heavy hack right there.
Yeah, and you're seeing, it's not about the velo, but about the location. When it comes to Cheriboga on the mound, Reese is really changing some speeds and location. Swung on and missed and struck him out the first time tonight.
When he first came in, Joe, he was struggling finding that location. It seems like he's dialed in a little bit better right now.
Yeah, he just popped some powder out of that mitt. Nicely played. Excellent pitch.
Well, you got 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. That tying runs on first base. He was there to start off the inning. Went out and got that number 1 and number 2 hitter for the Logators.
Yeah, Arrow Wallen was hitting just only 346 coming into this game. Put up a couple more hits. That's a clutch strikeout. There. And then get in the leadoff hitter, Riola, to fly out to center. Still a runner at first. That's the leadoff hitter, Nygaard, the number 9 hitter, his second hit of the night. They try to extend this evening. It's kind of been a case of the Grizzlies able to get some offensive mojo with 2 outs. All of their runs have come with 2 outs.
I'm looking at this park. It's in Brooklyn Park. I know Coach Blancett's out there listening someplace on some lake. This will be a good place to play, Coach. It's nice field, nice stands.
Coming off the mound, trying to catch him on the transition. A quick attempt at a steal. Nygaard is tagged out on the pickoff. And with that, they will come back with Ewer, who will lead off the top or the bottom of the 9th for the Logators. But the Logators rally is snuffed on the pickoff and catching Nygaard off of first. And we are at the end of 8 complete. It's an 8-6 lead for the Grizzlies. Will return for the 9th inning.
Hi, this is Cole with Anoka County Ship, and I have a question for you. When was the last time you moved from your seat? Movement makes all the difference in living the healthiest life you can, especially if you're working from home or the office where you're probably sitting down all day. So whether it's getting up for a cup of coffee or walking over to check out the window, a little bit of movement can make a lot of difference for your health. So get up and get moving with Anoka County Ship every day at goanokacounty.org. Thanks.
The St. Paul Saints are back. Courtesy of our sister station CTN, we are able to bring you coverage of the St. Paul Saints. Catch live coverage of tomorrow's big league stars right here on QCTV.
We are back here for this, the ninth inning, and new pitcher takes the mound here, a little sidewinder. This the fourth pitcher of the night for the Logators. Matt Merrick.
Throwing a submarine ball there.
He is. Don't you love that?
I love that pitch. He's throwing it for strikes here in warm-up. The manager of the team out here is the first right-hander that's come in, so a little bit different look. I'll try to keep this at a one-run game.
I had us at 8-6, but they're still sticking with the 7-6, huh?
I think it's a one-run.
Last inning, I had 2-run score on the 8th. Both runs scored with 2 outs. But I've been known to be wrong occasionally. That was just interesting. Okay, so here we go. We'll look and double check as we go here.
Yep, throw strikes. That's what you want to do right now.
Matt
Get out of
Merrick,
this inning.
Yep, comes in and he's setting up as he gets ready to face a first Grizzly player.
He's been doing this a long time. It looks like some of those older MLB players, and the way he holds his body out there and throws that underarm.
The Butler player, University, grounds out, and nice job by Coach Merrick. Submarine his way to a ground ball out versus an impressive hitter who's had certainly his extensive success here tonight.
Young guy from St. John's here.
Drew
He's had a
Charney,
good
excuse
night
me.
too.
Yep, Drew Charney. And another hitter, and that's Zach Helfman. You mentioned he's had a couple of nice knocks on the evening. Deep into the hole, diving. Riola cannot get it. Extends and dives, and that's where we'll start it here. So 1 out, 1 runner on.
Oh, there he is throwing strikes. We get that ground ball to third base.
Hey, just induce that ground ball. I always like the name of the squad, the Logators.
What is a Logator?
Little combo. I believe I had asked Matt that a couple of times, and I should have been able to retain that. It was a good description.
Once again, a good color commentator should know what that is. You shouldn't have to ask the play-by-play guy. A's.
As I'm battling through, as we're trying to get the lights when they come on here, I feel like it's just going to be a spotlight to disrupt. So using the phone and a few other elements here to get it right.
You know,
good pitch there as he locked him up, unable to extend the hands. And the second at bat tonight.
You know, you
Eddie
can just
Winters.
see, Joe, that when it gets darker, it looks like it's a little bit easier to see the ball. It's easier for us. It's got to be easier for the outfielder.
Oh, it's great.
When that ball dropped in the dusk, that was really hard to see for both the outfielders, obviously, and ourselves. And it gets dark, and it's pretty nice out there.
That it is.
A little fireworks going on in the background.
Helfman on the night makes him 3 for 4, and Just the one out. Matt Merrick, first time I've ever seen him pitch. I know that they were short on arms. Personnel, I love that. Swung on and missed. Runner at first, so he cannot advance. 2 down. Nice strikeout. Boy, he moved. Had some movement on that submarine toss.
Well, he lives in the neighborhood, doesn't he, Joe? I mean, you guys could probably get together, play
Yes.
a little bit of wiffle ball.
Yes.
You know, he could throw that underhand. Well, that thing would be nasty with a wiffle ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and you could probably
stuff.
go a yard.
That left-handed swing on the submarine ball. There's one just right there. Knocked down at second. Will they get the runner at first? No, they won't. An error. And a chance to get out of the inning here for Coach Matt Merrick in the submarine special.
Yeah, wrong guy to bobble the ball on. He was down that line zippity.
Yeah.
Zippity split.
And that ball had a little different spin to it. Second baseman Wallen unable to come up with that clean. So runners at first and second now, 2 outs. Grizzlies getting numerous players in. This is Grant Hallman. Again, the University of Sioux Falls out of Chaska. Has a chance here with 2 outs to extend the lead here for the Grizzlies. It's behind, Merrick is starting to pick up some velo on these pitches.
Yeah, I don't think he's the easiest guy to hit, that's for sure. I really like what he's doing out there. He's in the strike zone. That submarine ball's always hard to see. It's hard to see out of the hands. So
yeah, a little drop point, a little Kent Tucolvy-like. Down the line, another former Brooklyn Park player, Pat Neshek.
Yes,
on that
yes.
drop-down submarine MLB player, longtime Twin.
How about Kent Tucolvy?
I meant Kent Tucolvy. That's why you heard that in your head.
Okay.
Just before I had mentioned that.
And that just came out of your mouth.
30 seconds ago. It swung on and missed and a strikeout.
Attaboy. I'll tell you, both of those guys are nasty.
Matt Merrick marches off the field. 2 strikeouts that inning, the 1 inning to pitch, no one across. And now a chance here for the Logators to tie it up and get a game winner as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Yes, so you're right. Kent Tucolvy, I always remember him. Quisenberry.
Absolutely. And he was nasty, too. All 3 of them, they're hard to hit. Wasn't Rogers for the Twins, wasn't he kind of a underhand type guy too? Maybe not as much. Played a few years back, then went to the Giants. He was a pretty good pitcher for the Twins, and
and
lefty, threw some underhand stuff.
Yeah, and I was thinking of Mike Marshall, but he had a vicious screwball.
Yes,
for the Twins when he was there. But yeah, it is different movement. Just good to see a different release point. And now a chance for the Logators.
Then we can go to the knuckleball. Phil Necro is the one that stands out for me. And Hoyt Wilhelm, if you go way back.
Oh, yeah.
He was awful good at that, too.
Very true.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 7th.
The bottom of the 9th as we get things rocking here. Thinking of VFW and high school ball.
I am, yes.
On a strategy standpoint, I hadn't asked you all night. We'll get in a minute here how your team is doing as just where they left off. Nygaard was picked off in that 8th to end the inning, and
well, we go 4, 5, 6 here for the Logators. They got that leadoff guy on last inning and couldn't move him. Let's see what they can do this inning. See if they can get that tying run and maybe that winning run across.
Hewer just foul with that swing, and Hewer looking to find a way on and get some mojo going here for the Logators. in the bottom of the ninth. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's working quickly out there. He's getting the ball. He's throwing it.
He is. He certainly looks like he's gotten stronger the longer he has thrown. That is Reese Cheriboga. Swung on and missed, and a strikeout as Hewer goes down for the first out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, here comes Conley, and Conley hit one to the wall. And I believe it was the 4th inning.
Correct, and he's got the distance. He can take it there. Let's see what he has in store here as Conley.
Ahead in the count 1-0 here.
There's a hit pitch, and he'll find his way down to first base. Let's see if they have a pinch runner in mind. I know that bench is limited right now. And the lights are out. I'm not sure if they're timed, and it must be because it's 10 o'clock.
Oh.
And the lights go down in a California town. And we will see how quickly this may take them to come back on.
It just hit 10 o'clock.
You're correct.
Maybe they call someplace. I know we do that at Castle, and they come right back on. I don't know if anybody has the number. I guess we're going to find out. Sure is a pretty picture, though, our cameras are getting here.
Yes, indeed. Now we're going to probably see a disappearing act by Andy out in center field.
Yeah.
And they'll try to get these lights back up and going again. Bottom of the ninth. 1 out. A runner on first.
Somebody didn't pay the bill, I think.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. I'll tell you, it's a beautiful evening for ball. Overcast to begin, but then it gave way to the sun. We had a chance to experience a little dusk and now a little dark as we find our way. Maybe we can have our own fireworks right here tonight, right here in the bottom of the ninth. What do you think?
We could do. It sounds like we're going to go to break, and we'll be back.
We'll step away. We'll get the lights reset here, and we'll return here momentarily in the bottom of the ninth. QCTV.
Interested in a full-time career as a police officer? Well, the City of Champlin has open positions, and you can apply right now.
We have a great relationship with the community here. We've had plenty of activities and outreach events over the year that are very well attended. We have little kids show up, we have all walks of life show up, and it's great to meet people where they're at and show them what we're about.
The City of Champlin is a wonderful and growing community, so we caught up with some of the officers over at the Champlin Police Department to find out what makes this community so special.
It's been incredibly positive. I grew up in the area, so even in my private life and now working here for the department, there's always been a very noticeable support for the police department here. When you go out to lunch, people come up to me all the time, hey, we're thankful for what you do, we appreciate you, all that kind of stuff, just great stuff to hear throughout your day. You hear a lot more of that than any of the negative stuff you might see on social media or the news that people like to push forward. You don't really see that here. It's a lot of support, a lot of positivity.
This is a workplace that is very much a family. Everybody knows each other. They've been around each other for a long time. So we look after each other. We know our kids' names.
If you are looking for a job in law enforcement, the Champlin Police Department, we are hiring. We would love to have you.
One of the most important aspects of the Champlin Police Department is being there for the community when they need us, protecting people, letting people feel safe and protected in their city. That goes a long way.
Once again, if you are interested in joining the Champlin Police Department, please visit the link on the screen.
club started 2 years ago and was basically inspired by my own children to have a club at the school that I knew that they would definitely like, as they're not that into sports and things of that nature. So I wanted to create something that I know my family would like. The games that we provide are not like the ones that they'll necessarily find at home. We don't do Monopoly or categories or things like that. We do Tiny Epic Dinosaurs and Hues and Clues and Snake Oil, which is what they're playing in the background right now, for the games to kind of broaden the perspectives and show what else is out there, that there really is a game out there for everyone.
I would say it's a fun experience to play games with your friends and meet new people that maybe just like not people that you know that would play some different games, and you also get to learn a bunch of new games that you probably haven't heard of.
Club's a lot of fun. We play various types of games, from board games to card games. It's a real open atmosphere. You won't feel any kind of criticism about any part of you.
In like 5 years, I see the club expanding. Hopefully more kids come, bring more games, expand horizons.
There's been days when they aren't up for gaming, they just need a safe place to be. We're open to it. You know, they just want to be here around friends that are, you know, weird like them. That's awesome too.
The best part of the club is just getting to sit down and play board games with other people and make new relationships.
Club is having fun with my friends, being idiots and just being silly within the games.
So especially in this day and age where, you know, it's all available but still really scary, having a place that you know that you can go to that is going to be safe, that is going to be welcoming, and you know, you can be with the other weirdos that you want to be with, which was really hard to find when I was younger. I think it's incredibly important. Well, I'm hoping to look more people. I'm hoping to get our word out more that such a place exists, and that, you know, people can come and play games, and possibly, you know, in 5 years, maybe even create our own games based off of the games that we've been playing and stuff like that.
Come and have fun. Like, that's really all there is. Come play games and have fun.
Burn yourself? No, it's hot.
Hey Champlin, Mayor Ryan Sabas here. Supporting city staff and our local restaurants is a big part of my job. So today I'm having lunch with Dan Glenn.
So where were you, what city were you at previously before coming to Champlin?
Yeah, my previous community I worked at was the city of Stoughton, which was about 15 miles southeast of Madison. So yeah, the Madison suburban area.
Dan is the new director of our Parks and Recreation Department here at the city of Champlin.
So Dan, how long have you been with the city of Champlin?
Early December, so not too long actually.
So today we're at the 5-8 Grill located off Douglas Drive, and we're ordering the famous Juicy Lucy.
You're gonna be Champlin famous here.
I know, I can't wait.
While we wait for our food, let's get to know Dan a bit.
So yeah, I was with the city for 16 years. The last 6 I was the Parks and Rec director there, and the 10 years before that I was a recreation supervisor. As a Parks and Rec director, I did everything from parks planning, project management, a lot of the same similar stuff that I do here, managing staff, recreation supervisor, recreation coordinator, administrative assistant.
So we've gotten to know a little bit about your background professionally. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself personally? Are you married? Do you have kids?
Yeah, I am married. Been married for, don't get us on camera.
The food has arrived, so Dan and I plan our attack.
Okay, Mayor, so is there a safe way to eat this?
I'd say bite the edges to start with, get the cheese kind of coming out and cooling down.
Rookie mistake.
The Juicy Lucy is a hamburger stuffed with cheese, and it is a delicious Minnesota staple. And you can get one right here in Champlin.
Well, thanks for hosting us for this. Yeah. Appreciate it very much. 5-8 right here up Douglas Drive and 109th. Dan, thanks for coming. Thanks for picking the city of Champlin to come work at. We hope that you have a long, successful career. Excited to see you out with the community this summer and at the many different events we'll be hosting. So, again, thank you.
Champlin Lifetime has been a staple in the community for over 20 years. It's so much more than just a fitness club, it's an experience. Whether you're into cardio, weightlifting, or maybe you just need a relaxing spa day in the sauna, followed by a delicious smoothie in the Life Cafe, Champlin Lifetime has you covered.
You know, what I see a lot from our Champlin members is that they're really excited about, you know, the variety of things that they can do inside the club.
Oh, did I mention the new pickleball courts?
Obviously, pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in the world right now. We want to bring amenities and programs to our clubs, and we added 3 pickleball courts in there so we can have a better pickleball program for our Champlin residents around here. Obviously, we have what's called open play time. This is where you sign up, you go to the court, and it's just like playing pickup basketball or pickup pickleball that you do at a park in the area here. For people who've never played pickleball before, we also have introduction to pickleball classes, right? So you can learn the rules, learn the scoring, learn how to hit the ball, the different types of shots that you can hit with our pickleball pro, Brad, who's an amazing coach. So I'd recommend anybody checking that out. We have leagues available for our members. We have clinics. We have one-on-one lessons. So all of this is open to all of our members, right? And to do that, to know what the pickleball schedule is, what's going on, when it's going on, download the Lifetime app and log in, go to the pickleball portion of the app, and you can schedule time to be in the pickleball court. So whether it's free or fee-based, you do need to have a reservation because to preserve the experience out there, we can only have so many people out there at a time. When you talk on the fitness floor, obviously we have state-of-the-art equipment. We have swimming by the pool here, lap swim. We also have basketball. We also have a basketball court that for families, right? We have our child center. We have what's called Parents' Night Out. So it's a couple Saturdays a month where you can drop your kids off in the evening and you and your spouse or whoever can go grab dinner, go to a movie, go grocery shopping, just get some time away from the kids, right? As a father of 3, I can appreciate that as well. We offer birthday parties. If you want to have your birthday party here, we have pool parties or gym parties that you can get involved with. And we also have family swim. You know, it's getting to be cold out here in Minnesota. Bring your kids up here and you can do family swim as a family and have a great time there. You know, if you're watching this and you want to see what it's all about, I recommend come on down to the club, right? We do tours all day long. You can sign up online, you can sign up in club. There's no pressure, right? Come check it out, see what you think, and you know, we'll answer any questions you have, and hopefully you'll love it and have a great experience here.
And with the cold season approaching, now is the perfect time to sign up or return. Champlin Lifetime has some very exciting new upgrades on the way.
Welcome viewers, my name is Leslie Waterhouse. I'm a member of the Anoka, Blaine, Coon Rapids Area League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan organization that works to inform and educate voters. Joining us today to provide voting information is Anoka County Elections Manager, Tom Hunt. Well, thank you for joining us today to answer questions on felony voting and voter registration changes. Can a person who's been convicted of a felony vote?
Yes, they can. Yes. Prior to 2023, the legislation that was passed, if you were somebody who had been convicted of a felony, were no longer incarcerated, and still on a probationary period, then you would not have been able to vote. But now, that has been changed, and if you are still on your probationary period, you can now go out and register to vote and go in on election day and cast your ballot. It now really only applies to anyone who is currently incarcerated. So if you are currently incarcerated, then you would not be able to vote, obviously.
So what if they're on a work release program?
Yes, the legislation that passed did include the ability for you to register to vote and vote while on a work release program as well.
Well, thank you. That's great information. Thank you for being here to share that today. Welcome, viewers. My name is Leslie Waterhouse. I'm a member of the Anoka-Blaine-Coon Rapids Area League of Women Voters, a nonpartisan organization that works to inform and educate voters. Joining us today to provide voting information is Anoka County Elections Manager Tom Hunt. We're here to talk about serving as an election judge. Tom, who can be an election judge?
Sure, so anyone who is an eligible voter in Minnesota and over the age of 16 can actually be an election judge. So for students who want to be an election judge, those 16 and 17-year-olds, they would just need a couple extra pieces of information. So they would need a permission from their parents and from the principal of their school. And then they can go in and serve on election day just like anyone else. There's only a couple jobs that you wouldn't be able to do because some jobs require your party affiliation, and that's not something that we need from younger folks. But other than that, they could do everything else at the polling place. So yeah, anyone who's an eligible voter can be an election judge.
And what type of training is there?
To be an election judge, there is about 2 hours of training that needs to take place, and most of that is online. We have a training program where people can just log in and watch the videos and get the training that they need. If you wanted to be an assistant head judge or a head judge at a polling place, then there's an extra hour of training that you would need to take. But it's really nothing too crazy. And if you ever feel like there's a lot of information and you need a little extra, you can always come into our office and we'd be more than happy to kind of walk you through some of the machines or any extra training that you might need.
Hey, welcome. We're going to jump right back in here. Bottom of the ninth, the light issue has been lit back up, and we're at it. We've got light as Tyler Horning steps in. Chance here to see if he can advance the runner from first. He reached moments ago. There's a ball lifted to the gap. That might drop. That will drop. It is. Conley will make it to second. Now he's trying to make it to third. They'll hold on to it. And he goes from first to third on the gap. So runners at first and third. Let's reset the situation here. A one-run lead for the visiting MAC strength team, the Grizzlies.
I tell you what, the big guy was moving right there. Slid into third base. He read that ball well as it went down. He was halfway to second base, got himself into third base in scoring position with one out. The St. Louis Park kid is going to try to tie this up against his old team, or our St. Louis Park team.
Yep, stepping in here is Lou Walker, Southwest Minneapolis high school graduate, heading to Concordia St. Paul.
Right, he's Southwest.
Starting pitcher for the first 4 innings here tonight has knock here, puts a good swing on that pitch. Runners at first and third, and the Logators trail by 1 run, 7-6 here, bottom of the ninth. We have been awakened by the lights as they come back on, and a chance here for the Logators to come from behind and tie this up. Out in front that time on the front foot on a breaking pitch. He's come in and he's thrown extremely well for the Grizzlies, and that is Reese Chiraboga. Delivery here. Comes inside, swung on and missed, and the throw down, they can't tell if they got him. Nope, they did not, but a strikeout. Try to get the strikeout throw out. A little Soto play.
That was close right there. Here's another look at it. There's the strikeout. Oh, he just missed him. He just missed him.
Good camera angle there. Could have that for a review. But now runners at second and third. A single. Well, that'll be probably a walk-off winner here for Gooley.
Yeah, he's got a good lead out there at second base. I think he can get in on a single unless something's hit hard to left field.
Gooley is not going to sit back patiently. He wants to get after a pitch. He's again hitting just over 300 on the season. Coming inside.
A big situation here, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
You're a competitor. This is where you want to be.
Gooley, a chance here. Hit deep to the hole. Up top. Puts the tag on and out. A play from deep and short. Gooley. Looked like that ground ball might squirt through. Shortstop comes up, makes the play. First base elevates, makes the catch, and puts the tag on Gooley, and that will conclude tonight's game. A 7-6 loss for the Logators over the Grizzlies. And Pete, any final thoughts?
Well, it was a well-played game. You know, pitchers threw strikes, had a lot of hits, had some good defensive plays, and back and forth. You know, the lead went, and the Grizz came out on top tonight, but a great game to watch here and a beautiful night.
Certainly a tough night as well. A lot of runners left on base, but the key, too, has been the outs, or the runs produced by the Grizzlies with 2 outs. That was certainly a difference maker. I'm Joe Rulin, along with the whole QCTV staff, and thank you for, sticking with us and the whole staff from surviving that quick dark out and blackout. And finally, we're back in and see the conclusion of the game. Logators take a tough loss tonight, 7-6 over the Grizzlies. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Rowland along with Pete Hayes. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price.